Hi everyone, how are you today? Welcome back to my December daily 2022 series of videos. I am going to do the process for day 6, and day 6 is usually well, not usually, but this time around it's the Enchanted Garden, and this is a night lights show that is done in our city of Brisbane every year in our Roma Street parklands. And so just a gorgeous Christmas, I won't say it's Christmas themed because it isn't, but it's done every year for Christmas time. And so I always have like really pretty photos from this one, and so I kind of struggle with this page because I love the photos as is and I don't feel like I want to add anything to it, or I don't feel like I need to, and that's okay. So what I decided to do this year is really, you know, probably a very similar format for what I did for this spread last year, which was just to create a booklet with full page photos to capture that. And then I would also keep this page on my desk throughout the day, so just in case I think of any ideas of things I want to add that I can add it in. But for the most part, I'm just going to attach these photos back to back accordion style, and then make like this will be a 8x10 booklet within the within my album. So what I am going to be mindful of this time around is actually the width of the pages. So let me just look at this before I start cutting them down. I'm going to measure, you know, what size the pictures are actually at, to see how much I can cut down. They did print with a border, which is good in this case because it gives me some extra space to work with around the photos. So this will end up being somewhere like, let's see, a bit under 11. Now this is I think 11.125 is the size of the pattern papers, and so just minusing point, I leave about a 0.5 to a point, probably about a 0.3, 0.75 space for the holes. So let me just pull out my album and measure that up, and then I'll cut my photos down, adhere them together, and then I will just embellish some bits and pieces. I'm making like a interactive tag for some of these pictures here, and that would be the synopsis of today's videos. So thank you for joining me, and let's get right into it. I begin this spread by just measuring through the size that I need for this picture, and I decide to cut my pictures down to 10.5 inches across, just so that I don't have to punch every single photo or page in this booklet that I'm making, because it could be, you know, just a bit difficult to turn the pages because the booklet is opening out versus in, because my next spread is opening up, so day 7, which would be the icy stars spread that I made for that hop. But I like how this looks when I cut the two sides of the border off, and then I have the top and the base. It kind of reminds me of a movie in a sort of way. So once I decide on that side, I cut down all the photos. I've already lined these photos up in order of how I want them to appear in the booklet, and so I kind of start with the photo that I wanted behind my alcohol ink page that I made for this particular story. The process video for that is on my Instagram channel. I will link the reel below, as well as any products I use throughout it. I would usually link it in the comments below. So I cut these down relatively quickly, and I place them back to back so as to remember when I am gluing the pages together and putting them with the spine, so I remember which order to glue them in back to back as well, because that can be kind of tricky sometimes. But I really love this type of binding. I make an accordion spine for it, and that works really well for me. And I kind of just like having all the stories, full size photos, and all of them enclosed in a booklet. And I kind of think it's cute to have like a album inside of an album. That really tickles me. So I really love like some of these photos. This was a new flower this year, and Preston really loved looking at it. And so just having some bold photos for a change with not trying to limit myself to a size or a shape. That was just really fun and relaxing for me for this one. And then I decided to cut these vertical type photos down as well, that you see on the 2 pages left, to tags. So I'm going to do some back-to-back tags, and then I'm going to hang them like bookmarks or like ornaments inside of the book, so that they can lie on top of the last page, but they can also serve as bookmarkers that kind of rest on any page that I want to remember. And I thinking that I want to do it on 2 pieces of ribbons, like some of those journals that have 2 bookmarks in them instead of 1. So I'm gonna play with that idea a bit, but I'm just cutting these down and making sure that they are the same size before I stick them back to back and before I stick everything together in the album. I love using this trimmer or the works tool to trim these things down very quickly. And I also am appreciative of how quickly this spread came together, because sometimes some of these spreads take a while, and I think the beauty of doing a daily project is knowing that some days you take a long time to do your spread, but other days you kind of just do a lovely, beautiful, still impactful, simple spread that brings you joy. And that's what I'm doing today. I am also cutting a piece of acetate to act as a clear spine, because I'm thinking that it would look good, seeing that I do have the acetate cover page. And then I'm also going to cut down the piece of white cardstock or white premium paper. I use 250 GSM, and I can link that below for you as well. And I create an accordion spine with it to tuck into each of the back-to-back pages and hold the booklet together. And I score these at the 1/2 inch mark to ensure that we get just a bit of coverage in there. If you're wanting to have something a bit sturdier, you could also create a larger accordion, but I find that the 1/2 inch gives me just enough. So I end up with 4 pieces, but I do end up needing to cut 2 more 1/2 inch pieces and adhering it together just to get all pages of the spine, including the back page in it. So that's what I end up doing for this. And once I have those scored neatly, I can then now glue everything together. Now I start off by using some double-sided tape to put the pages together, because I was thinking that the tacky glue would be a bit too liquidy for this project. But then I kind of really like the lucidity, the liquidness that the tacky glue brings, because the photo paper is a bit slidey. So when I use double-sided tape, it's great. It's a dry tape and it sticks down quite well. But once it's stuck down, if I pull it off or have to move it or alter it, because when you're sticking 2 pages together, sometimes you have just the tiniest piece of corner that is off the edge of the paper and whatnot. So I find that with the tacky glue, I do get quite a lot of time to keep the pages or to straighten the pages, make sure it's edge to edge before it actually dries, because it does take a while to dry, and that as well could be a downside for some persons. Because it takes a while to dry, I kind of just leave it on my desk and go about my day, and then I come back to it later in the day. But with the double-sided tape, I have to be straight and exact all the time. And what happened was, with this first picture that I'm gluing down on the inside, it was just a slight bit over the score line for the accordion, and so I had to adjust that a bit. But once I had that adjusted, and I kept that in mind to just leave a little space in the fold for that extra piece of paper, then it was just fine. But I do use tacky glue moving forward, just so that I have some bits of leeway, because sometimes you just need that extra, lubrication to just help everything to neaten up and be straight. And you don't want to be pulling and tugging at your pictures, especially pictures like this that take so much ink to print. Guys, my black and my cyan cartridge finished while I was printing these photos, and I guess that is one of the joys of December daily as well. We do print quite rich pictures, and because it's a daily project, we are printing basically a day's worth of photos every day. So I really wanted to save this photo and not tear it. So after making some adjustments to the actual accordion, I just put this score line out a bit. Then I was able to continue attaching, and I also used with the red star paper from this year's main paper pack to make the spine instead of using the acetate. I felt like that was a nice cute touch to it. And so now I use my works tool. There's a tag score or cutting tool including in this tool, so that allows me to have like perfect tags every time for the shape and the size that I'm working with. And I like that you could also create the type of diagonal that you like, whether you like a deep diagonal or a light one. And so I use that to create my tags, and then again I use my clear gel tacky glue to glue them together back to back, and I leave space for, well, just in case I wanted to punch holes. But in the end, I just added the ribbon. I slipped it between the two tags and with some of the tacky glue, and let it dry like that. So this is really and truly the spread coming together. I pull out some hot pink tags to match with the hot pink of the alcohol ink, and because I really love hot pink ribbon as well, and I always love how it goes with these kind of night lights that are neon and whatnot. And then I use double-sided tape to adhere the tags to the back of the back page of the booklet, so that when I do glue this booklet to the previous spread, I can still maneuver the tags throughout any of the pages within this photo album, which is located as story number 6. So this is it, guys. I hope you really enjoy my video for today, and I hope you enjoy my spread. I really just love this light show, and I love how impactful it is. So I hope you're having a wonderful day and happy December documenting, and I hope to see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and feel free to comment below and hop on over to Instagram to follow me as well. Bye.